I did say at the beginning of the stream, what does everyone sort of think about this new batch? And some people were going, nah, I'm not going to pull from it. Some people obviously saying, I want Inferno or Ravenous Chronos. That was the one of the community votes, second place. I imagine a lot of people going for that. A lot of people saying World because it's a combiner piece. And I asked at the beginning of the stream, but is it just because it's a combiner piece people are going for this bot? And part of me sort of thinks it is. And sort of part of us in playtest, I don't want to speak for playtest, but I imagine they were sort of thinking that, we don't want people just going for this bot because it's a combiner piece and then leaving it, not leveling it. We want people to go for it because it's a combiner piece and because it's a good bot as well. So we've sort of done our best with this batch. And I think it's important that we sort of start with Whirl, Inferno, and then we'll go through the rest of the bots. So starting off with Whirl. So what improvements have we made to Whirl? So Whirl as a 5-star will do 10,000 damage with a maxed volatile mixture. Cost of 4 plus 2. But he also does damage over time now. It's over 6 seconds rather than individual damage. And that's because it's fire damage. Which the good thing is also they've changed his second ability to acid. So he actually does fire and acid. So you can see there that at max he does 10,000 damage to a single target over 6 seconds. And the acid will do 7,000 acid damage. And the main aim for this was that at this level, at level 70, 10, you can take out most defenses in planning hard mode. So you're talking beam lasers, rocket launchers, mortars. You can't quite take out a cannon. He just falls a bit short. But the idea is that once he gets to ability 11 or gets some sort of G1 core, that will probably enable him to defeat cannons as well. So you can pretty much take out anything on the map apart from maybe shock towers. So decent amount of damage. But let's be honest, when we first got Whirl, we knew that was the good ability. We knew that his rockets were decent. But we've also buffed the acid thrower to the point where it actually takes out build bots. But what they've also done is they've increased the range to match the same as the rockets. So both the abilities do the same range. But we'll take him in battle and give him a go. So looking at Whirl. So on this side actually, on the other side. So rockets, so you can see there, huge range from the launch pad firing over. So there is a heal on that cannon, which might affect it. But there you go, it's taking it out, which is cool. Then we've got the acid. We put the acid in an area. Let's put the acid. You can see long range acid over time. It should just take them build bots out, I think, just about. It's not quite doing what it should. I did say this in sort of test. It should do 7k, so that will need to be improved. So it should kill the build bot. It does state 7k. But you can see massive range. Good ability. We are trying to hit a cannon with my Chronothon though. And you see it doesn't quite take it out. So imagine with that ability 11, with that G1, it'll probably take out cannons as well. So really good range. Quite happy with Whirl being a combiner bot and do decent damage. And one of the few bots like Huffer that's a triple changer without being official triple changer. I like that some bots have this. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Whirl. I think it's pretty decent. Next up, so obviously Inferno and Ravenous Chronos. So we've got these bots in test, and let's be honest, they're still decent bots. They're still pretty good. And so what we've done is for ability 11, they will get a 50% increase to all damage. It was 45, but we sort of said, listen, if you're going to go above 40, you might as well make it 50. And so for the 5-star, I think the 5-star only goes to 50%, but he's also had a 13% health buff as well to increase his survivability. I've always said that I like the idea of Inferno, but that rush in just seems to kill him. And so now the fact that we've got that sort of health buff helps him to do 45k health. And with 50% increase, it's going to be interesting to see what people come up with, what box you can sort of do the calculations and go, it does good damage, but with an extra 50%, it's going to be crazy, crazy good. Loads of combat opportunities, but not much of a change. It's probably one that's least changed, once again, because, like I said, it was always decent with that 40%. But I hope 50% is a reason to go for the 5-star with the added health as well. So a decent bot all around. don't think I really need to show him what he does. Everyone knows Inferno just increases the damage of all the bots. Gonna have a play with him, try and do some different combos. You know my videos, I like doing videos going, listen guys, you've not thought of this. So I'm gonna think outside the box a bit. I think some bots that could have 50% increase in damage. Could be interesting. Next up we have Ariel. So we thought Ariel was pretty decent when we had her. She was 5+0. We've changed that to 4+0. So we've actually reduced her cost down. And then we've also gave her a damage boost for the an absorption boost for the 5-star. So she will be a bit more survivability. And also a range increase on the ability. So looking at Ariel now, you can see now the range has actually increased for Ariel. The survivability has increased as well. And there we go. Look, really good range on that ability. So we talked about how it wasn't maybe as good as Prime Rush. The Flash of the Warrior was good. There was sort of like pros and cons maybe when we first sort of released the bot, and I think we sort of addressed that, reduced the cost down to make it more usable. 4+0. Is it gonna combat Optimus Prime to sort of help with pathing? I don't know. I like how the bot is going though. I like it made some small changes to an already good bot. If I'm honest, I don't really use this bot. I don't really use Inferno, but I know Tech uses Inferno. He's happy with the changes. I know there's a couple of guys in test that even used Ariel or know someone, and they've sort of said that they were really happy with these changes. So the fact that Ariel's been improved, I'll say again, I'm not a big fan of Ariel, but I like the improvements. 4+0, I think she's still good. I think she could be a different bot for Optimus Prime. I've got Optimus Prime on a 1 in 2 pull. I might actually go for her instead, rather than Optimus Prime. Being a warrior as well, a bit more survivability. So interesting, like I said, the changes to Ariel. So yeah, not so bad so far. Decent change to Whirl, decent change to Inferno, decent change to Ariel. So all the bots have got an improvement. Next up we have Tigerhawk. So Tigerhawk's had quite a bit of a buff. So for Tigerhawk, we have increased his slowdown from 25% to 45%. That will help him a lot in an outpost. And when we talked about this bot, we were trying to make him really, really good. And the comparisons to Swoop were apparent. We're trying to sort of get him on par at least with Swoop. We thought, listen, I've always said new content is better than old content, but you've got Swoop with ability 11, you've got him with a G1, just crazy amount of damage, just stun, great in an outpost. Not everyone uses him on offense. So I think from the start, we were always going to struggle to maybe make Tigerhawk good for offense. Because in the class cannon, 16k health, but 11,100 DPS, even without a combat, is absolutely crazy sort of damage. But we were looking at a way to make him better than Swoop. So for a start, 5+3 is better than Swoop at a cost of 5+3 versus 5+5. So he is better than Swoop in that sense. But again, don't forget guys, he's not got ability 11. He's not got no Transmetal Core or anything like that. So this is just at 7 to 10. What we've also done is, obviously it was 7+4 before to reduce to 5+3. So a lot lower cost. They've actually given him a 50% damage increase as well. 50% guys, that's a massive damage increase. So let's give him a whirl on offense. So put Tigerhawk down, put him in an area. You can see there, doing really good damage, clearing an area out. See there, 1 lightning strike, 2 lightning strikes, 3 lightning strikes, 4 lightning strikes. There we go, don't quite target the 5th one. So you see there, doing crazy amount of damage. Don't forget guys, these are quite low HP buildings as well. So let's try and get him through this a minute. Can we get him through this unscathed? No. Let's try him again. Close some bigger HP defenses. Let's change the base layout a minute. Let's put Tigerhawk down. And he's stunned, obviously. Of course he is. Let's use the ability. There we go on that section there. You can see there. 1, 2, 3 defenses down. 2.5 maybe. Choose them again in that area. And cleared an area. So not too bad. But like I said earlier, when we sort of did Tiger Hawk, it was always going to struggle because it does the similar damage to Swoop, but for a cost it's quite expensive, but it's in an outpost where he really shines. So we've got 2 warriors, we've got a scout, we've got air class, and we've got a gunner. Let's see what he does against these. Sets the outpost off. And then Tiger Hawk. Hits aerial. And you see aerial is pretty much dead off that one ability. So Tiger Hawk can really do some serious damage to your bots. You're talking 40k damage. Now we've tried this on a few different things. So I tried him again in a similar situation, and he actually took one of my gunners out. My gunner was gone. Literally half health for a warrior. Gunner gone. I dropped air by mistake. There you go. You can see Tiger Hawk there. Look at that. Tiger Hawk of 1 smite is dead. Let's try just dropping gunners, see what happens. Dropping 3 gunners. Forward it. Tiger Hawk comes out. Gunner, gunner, gunner. Gunner gone. So you can see there, you can do some serious damage to your bots in an outpost. And I'm super pumped. I think he's maybe better than Swoop in some ways. Really going to be good to have Swooping him on defense. Uncountable almost. The only way I've found to counter him is using a Rook Hollow, using minions, because then he targets the minions instead. So there are some counters, and I like that. I've always said, listen, I love where you've got a bot and you need a counter. Is that going to mean that Blaster gets a new lease of life when he's meta in an outpost? Are people going to start running Blaster? Maybe even no. Are people just going to hit a Hollow? But does that waste ability points? Again, I love a bot that's really powerful but has an easy counter and makes you select a certain bot. So it's going to be interesting to see the different variations. But again, this bot's only got ability 10. It's not got ability 11 yet. He's not even got a Transmetal Core, nothing like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see Tiger Hawk in some outposts and see what he can do. Guys, I was in that chat. I was saying, listen, I love Brawn. I really love Brawn. I've leveled him to 61. I want him to be good. The apes decided that a cost decrease to 3+0, yeah, wasn't going to happen, sadly. So what they did was, they gave him the cost decrease of 3+0. They gave him a stun for a certain amount of seconds. They gave him stun immunity. They made the stun bounce. And so now when you use the stun, it hits multiple targets. And then you can use your other ability, and that hits multiple targets. So it's had a cost decrease. He does more damage in an area in a way. He also gets a stun immunity. Absolutely crazy. Honestly, like to the fact where Brawn, for me, I've already got him for the endurance. I'm probably going to put him into my war team. He's that good. Let's target the first one there, the first defense. There we go, and it bounces, and then the second hit. See, kills it there. I'm going to go over this way. So there we go. Let's kill the second defense. Well, it jumps aside to the defense. No, it's hit the wall. What did damage to the wall though? No, no damage to the wall. But yeah, honestly, like when I seen these changes to Brawn, I was super impressed because they've lowered the cost, which is what I was sort of fighting for to make him decent. But my argument was always that it doesn't really hit many defenses. But once they solve the wall issue, and once it hits just defenses, it's going to take 2 defenses out for 6 ability points, which I think is probably more in line with what what damage and what range is sort of doing. 6 for 2 defenses close together, I think is decent. And like I said, to get stun immunity as well, really happy with Brawn. I think he's really decent. So, looking at the changes, we're having the range increase, the acid. Then you've got Inferno with the 50%. Then you've got Aerial, which has been a cost decrease, the damage boost. You've got the range increase as well. And you've got the damage absorption extra for the 5-star, more absorption. Then you've got Tiger Hawk with the slowdown added extra, cost decrease for Tiger Hawk, 50% extra damage. You've got Brawn, cost decrease again, the EMP jumping. So these guys, all this 5-star batch. What do you think now, guys? Has your opinion changed of this batch? Is there a batch that you think is successful? Is it going to be a batch that you want to pull from? Is there any bots that you've changed your mind on in the batch? Let me know in the comments. And hopefully we've got a good batch on our hands. But the community will decide that, not just the playtesters. And we'll have to see if there's a few more changes to it. But I think we're pretty much set now. And I think it's going to be a good batch.